Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it looks like? That's right. It looks like we are live. And this is a very blurry camera. Welcome back to the Mining Market Signal. My name's Seth, and this is Mine Your Biz. That's the name of the channel anyway. It's also the name of the brand. It's also the name of the website. It just seemed unbelievable that nobody had taken that name before when I got involved in media production in the cryptocurrency space. So we're rolling with it. Let me jump straight into the Fear and Greed Index so we can see what today's score is. We're at 74, and we've been consistently flying high on a score that would show us kind of more towards the greedy side, maybe even the extreme greed side. And also, guys, just let me thank you for being here. If you're here and you've already hit that thumbs up button, thank you. If you're here and you're already subscribed, thank you. If you're here and you're lurking, I mean, why not do those things? They're free, right? And you help other people have fun too. So the more the merrier. We want live comments. We want more interaction. This is a live stream. I am going to see your comments. I'm going to respond to your comments. I'm not just leaving it on top chat or on super chats. It's for everybody, right? So if you've got something on your mind, go ahead and hit up the live chat. You have to be a subscriber in order to make any kind of comments on the channel. So there is that limitation. That's kind of a reality of working on YouTube these days, though, is that you have to have strong filters and you have to keep your viewers safe, right? People who are checking out your media safe. That's kind of a standard that YouTube asks us to maintain. And you know what? I'm okay with it. In years past, people have said some really nasty things, and I've got no problem blocking certain keywords and telling certain people to go pound sand if they're meanies, right? So you guys aren't like that. I know you're not like that. So thanks for being here. But yeah, here we are, guys, living in greed. Hey, I see some Goblin Loser I don't know in the comment section. Fox Protocol Mining, big shout out to Fox Protocol Mining, who's been experimenting with solo mining. And I just absolutely love what I'm seeing over on crypto Twitter from Fox Protocol Mining. It's absolutely inspirational. We've got to do some collab crossover content at some point in the future, just so we can talk about that difference in the experience that you're having. Really, I think more people need to be open to the idea that solo mining might be a good choice for them, but I digress. Let's jump into our earlier market coverage before we go strictly into our mining talk. We also have Nick C in the comments. Thank you. Peter Navarro is here, says Ethereum Classic. Is Ethereum Classic mining profitable? Yes, Nick, it is. And we're going to talk about exactly how profitable it is for each type of GPU in just a minute. So thanks for being here with us live. Also, we've got Gordon Murray. Thanks for being here as well. Ken Bosak, the bro. He just dropped me a 420 super chat. It's 420 somewhere, right? Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. Also, I'm getting some notifications that folks are maybe trying to comment who can't because they're not subscribed. Again, sorry, not sorry. It's kind of something that I saw Crypto Wendio do, and I realized that might work well here too. So yeah, sorry. Got to wait about 35 minutes later on in the live stream. If you subscribe, you'll be able to chat. So, but again, hey, Ken, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for that super chat. Much love. Really appreciate you, bro. But here we are at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index score of 74. Let's scroll down to see what our last month looks like. We are almost entirely backfilled with a month of greed, right? So this is the point at which it's starting to look like people are forgetting what it felt like to live with fear in these markets. And that for me is a bit of a counterindicator. A counterindicator, you say? What does that mean? Counterindicator? Are you trying to give me advice about whether or not I should invest? Are you trying to give me market buying or selling signals? Well, you know, now that I think about it, no, definitely not. That's not what we do here. Get that idea right out of your head. And I have to do those really strong disclaimers, guys, just because, again, it's part of the game. So thanks for playing with me. Thanks for understanding. We'll talk about a lot of things, but since you haven't retained my services by paying me, and I'm not like whatever, some Series 7 advisor for securities or whatever else, or for investment, well, I think it's pretty safe to say legally, you should know and I should know that I'm not giving you advice. For some reason, YouTube gets it twisted. So when I put these on my videos, they do better. So thanks for playing along. But here we are after about a month of this flying high in greed. And I view that as a counter indicator, basically meaning that when everybody else is feeling so euphoric and kind of high off the vapors of really good price action, I start to plan my exit strategy. And I think, what do I need to do to protect myself and my investments? And of course, people who I care about, right? Close ones who'll hear me, right? Who I can talk to kind of more openly about maybe some price targets, like, hey, you know, mom or siblings or kids or spouse or whatever. Like, hey, we should think about, for you, maybe maybe this is a good time to take profit. Maybe this is a good time to peg to certain coins. Maybe this is a time to divest and look at something else. And yeah, I get that kind of a sense when I see this kind of sentiment in the markets. This is a composite score from Reddit and Twitter, and so this is kind of real time. It's a pretty good indicator of how the markets are feeling, but it's based on news, right? These are sentiment and emotionally driven markets. So let's figure out what exactly is getting people so emotional. Well, at least right now, I think we're staying in this euphoric high greed phase because of news like this, right? Honduras got its very first Bitcoin ATM, and that's a big deal, guys. Some of these countries, to be able to go, and at least for the lower amounts, the non-KYC amounts, for these people to be able to get their hands on Bitcoin very easily, right? With low friction, just put in some whatever your local fiat currency is and get Bitcoin. That's huge. And that's going to be able to onboard people in markets like Honduras and, well, other countries too. Clearly, there are Bitcoin ATMs like this in Mexico. There are some in El Salvador. There's the airdrop. It's pending, guys. It's coming very, very soon. The $30 airdrop to every El Salvadorian citizen in Bitcoin, it's going to be massive. But stuff like this helps too, right? Being able to see that we've got ATMs built in countries like Honduras. Fox Protocol Mining is saying, I'm hearing Cuba is opening pathways to BTC adoption as well. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say, gosh, what show was I on? I think it was on Crypto Wendio's channel when we talked about that. Everybody else was a little bit worried that because of the previous authoritarian history of the Cuban government, that there might be some kind of problems for the Cuban people. I don't know. I think personally, I'm a little biased, right? I've got family in Miami, and my father was born and raised in Cuba. But you hear a lot about people from Cuba who come to the United States and really make something from nothing, right? They really hustle. That whole, like, the caricature or the character, right, from Scarface, Tony Montana. He's based on kind of a composite of people who came in the 1970s, late 1970s, and then in the 1980s, especially 1980s from Havana, Cuba, and then tried to figure out how to hustle to survive, how to make something from nothing. And while they showed in that movie somebody who like turned to crime or whatever, it's also true that from that same group of Cuban Americans who were first generation Cuban Americans, that they also built some of the biggest industry in Miami. And a lot of them also went on, ironically, to go and buy large tracts of land in not countries, but states like Wyoming and Montana. That's how Tony Montana got his name. Montana is not a very common last name in Cuba, but that's kind of where that comes from. It's stupid little backstory there. But personally, I trust the people of Cuba to be responsible with Bitcoin. I think it's a net positive. Personally, I think it's only going to go well for the people of Cuba to get more adoption in that country. Let's see. Some Goblin Loser, I don't know, says, and a select product was presented as a lucrative source of income. Yes, it's true. That's the other thing, guys. I don't want to. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Sometimes, when people are starting from the bottom, they make very desperate choices, right? But anyway, enough about nose candy and, Tony Montana. Let's talk about Honduras. These folks are desperate for totally legal, above board ways to get involved with the cryptocurrency industry, right? Absolutely. They're as eager for it as we are, right? We want to see this happen in a greater way throughout the world. And I think this is helping that sentiment stay high. Another thing that's breaking news, pretty exciting. It's been hinted at, but there could be in the Twitter iOS update, the beta update, that there could be Bitcoin integration and specifically Lightning Network integration into the Twitter core product. This actually concerns me more than the news about Cuba. Is that weird? Because the people of Cuba have had to hide their wealth from their government for generations now. But the people of Twitter don't really know actually how to keep their identity very safe from Twitter. In fact, you have to validate your account with a phone number. So unless you're very expert at getting multiple burners and using various kinds of like IP obfuscation techniques through like VPNs or whatever else, it's a pretty good bet that Twitter knows who you are. And now you're going to be entrusting them with your Bitcoin. Yikes. But it's convenience, right? So we turn a blind eye because we want greater adoption. I'm a little bit concerned by that, but I think that it is bullish overall for Bitcoin. So There you go. We've does this have the no, it does not have the screenshot. There was a screenshot released on Twitter by a user, Alex Alex something or other, but they released a screenshot of that beta update and what it could look like. So it was pretty much just a mock-up, early beta mock-up of what those Lightning Network payments could look like inside of Twitter. And I'm not going to lie, it's not bad. I think it will improve adoption significantly. However, Lightning Network, as you know, it incurs the on-ramp and off-ramp fees of the regular layer 1 chain, Bitcoin chain, when you pull it off of that layer 2, because it's not native Bitcoin. It's basically a smart contract that parks Bitcoin in a UTXO and then pulls it back out again. So it doesn't really help that much with anonymity. Something like Taproot should help a bit more, and we're still waiting for that to be properly integrated, right? To properly hide people's addresses and amounts and such. So we'll see. Fox Protocol Mining jumps in and says, yeah, just what I want. Twitter tracking my Lightning node, LOL. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want Twitter tracking my cryptocurrency. I don't want Facebook tracking my cryptocurrency. I don't want Microsoft or Google. None of the big tech players, right? They can go and play with their own metadata, right? Like, I don't want to give them any more than that, and then I absolutely have to. And even then, I mean, I've been very, very quickly moving towards a free and open source only lifestyle. I mean, my daily driver laptop is Linux. My daily driver phone is the mineyourbiz phone, which is a fully de-Googled version of Android open source project. I've basically forsworn a lot of the creature comforts of the latest generation of big tech. But here's the thing. We've had everything we need by way of tools, digital tools, pretty much lined up for the last, say, 8 to 10 years. Cloud services, if you really want to use them, they're still available to you, but just register for them anonymously. And all of the operating system, like the core components, don't get me wrong, there's of course been innovation in that time, but the core components of what we need for day-to-day use, it's been around for a while. And if you listen to guys like Richard Stallman, just diehard guy in privacy and open source software, he doesn't even carry a cell phone. So, you know, we all draw the line where we're most comfortable. But for me, I don't want to give any more of my data to Twitter or the big social media players or the big tech players. I just think it's a huge mistake. We're never going to get that data or that metadata back from them. They're just going to hold it over our heads for the rest of our lives. And we already gave them too much, right? During Web 2.0 and Web 1.5, right? In the early 2000s, when some of us just didn't know any better or weren't paying attention or weren't educated enough, we've already given them too much, in my opinion. So anyway, rant over. But I think this is bullish for Bitcoin. It's probably also bullish for Twitter, right? If you're invested in Twitter, but you know, I don't know. I'm not. So there you have it. I think that's part of why people are so euphoric right now. Here is txstreet.com. Let's check to see if we can get this guy to upload or update really fast. Let me pull up the Bitcoin side first, and we're going to start with Bitcoin. Current median fee. Whoa, that's the highest fee I've seen on Bitcoin in a minute. We're literally just over $1. But here's the thing, guys, if you were around for a while, you know that $1 for a Bitcoin transaction is not the worst it's ever been. It's definitely been higher in years past. So one full dollar for a Bitcoin transaction for us is not the worst. In some of these other markets, you figure in El Salvador, with $30 going to each citizen of El Salvador, that's a significant amount, right? If that's the biggest Bitcoin holding you've ever had, one full dollar to move it around is cost prohibitive. So I can see how the appeal of Lightning Network would be apparent there, right? Like in a market like that, you don't want to pay excessive fees. And I suspect that in El Salvador, it's going to be natively on the Lightning Network. And I want to say, gosh, I've got to pull it up, guys. Do you want me to pull up the ad? Because the government of El Salvador is running an ad. It's not just they ran it once. They're running an advertisement for a national wallet. I kid you not. It's the Lightning wallet that's sponsored by their federal government. And if you speak Spanish, if you understand Spanish, I think you're going to really, really appreciate that. Let me jump out of the way, though. Let's take a look at our gas fees right now. And so you guys can see right there, current median fee in terms of sats per VByte is 10.3. That's higher than it's been in a long time. I was really, really not expecting it to be up that high. Let me just double check here, though, in my feed. Should come up with just a couple of keywords here. Oh, yeah. There it is. Oh my gosh. Let me grab this link really fast, and then we'll pull it up in a main window here. Okay, so I've got this link. We're going to pull it up in Twitter because I think that's probably the easiest way for us to see it. This is the Chivo wallet, and it's by the federal government of El Salvador. This guy.
Desde septiembre, Bitcoin será una moneda legal en nuestro país, junto al dólar. Usar Bitcoin no es obligatorio. Tendrás la opción de pagar y cobrar con Bitcoin o dólares.
It's a very fat wrist.
Transacciones en efectivo, los precios, los salarios y las pensiones seguirán siendo en dólares. Tendrás la opción de usar gratis la wallet del gobierno para hacer transacciones en Bitcoin o en dólares. Cualquier hora y sin comisión. También puedes usar cualquier otra wallet para tus transacciones.
Oh, you know what? You guys are not getting my desktop audio, are you?
$30 para tu consumo. Tendrás la opción de pagar en dólares o Bitcoin desde su celular. Sin tocar dinero o firmar vouchers. Quien te cobre tampoco tendrá que tocar dinero ni tarjetas, ni pagar comisión por la transacción. También tendrás la opción de enviar y recibir remesas.
Oh, good grief. You know what? I just realized that my desktop audio was not even passing through. Good grief. Guys, I've got no problem translating live. But here's the thing. They actually, this guy's speaking really fast because he's a commercial producer, right? Like, you're hearing it, but I think you're hearing it because of... I think you're hearing it because it's passing through something else. Let me make sure I got this right. And now you should hear it properly this time.
Desde septiembre, el Bitcoin será una moneda legal en nuestro país, junto al dólar. Usar Bitcoin no...
He said, starting September, Bitcoin's going to be legal tender in our country. Or sorry, just beside, right beside the dollar.
No es obligatorio.
Receiving Bitcoin is not obligatory.
Tendrás la opción de pagar y cobrar con Bitcoin o dólares.
You'll have the option to either receive or pay in Bitcoin or dollars.
Todas las transacciones en efectivo, los precios.
All the prices will be in cash or dollar equivalents.
Los salarios y las pensiones.
Salaries, pensions, commercial products.
Seguirán siendo en dólares.
They'll continue to be listed in dollars.
Tendrás la opción de usar gratis la wallet del gobierno.
You'll have the option to use the government wallet for free. What could go wrong?
Para hacer transacciones en Bitcoin o en dólares.
And you'll be able to send your transactions either in Bitcoin or dollars.
Cualquier hora y sin comisión.
Ooh, at any time of day or night and without any conditions or cover charges.
Bien, puedes usar cualquier otra wallet para tus transacciones.
And then they go on to say, you could also use any other wallet that you want for your transactions.
Con nuestra wallet, recibirás un bono en Bitcoin equivalente.
With our wallet, you'll receive a bonus of Bitcoin that's equivalent to $30.
Frente a $30 para tu consumo.
And for you to use however you want.
Tendrás la opción de pagar en dólares o Bitcoin.
You'll have the option to pay in dollars or Bitcoin. See, they're repeating it 3 times, guys. They don't want to spook people away, so they want to repeat it 3 times. Like, hey, you can still pay dollars. It's cool. But yeah, they're really trying to drive that point home.
Desde tu celular, sin tener que
and you can do it from your mobile phone.
Dinero o firmar vouchers.
Without having to bring cash with you or sign any kind of vouchers or anything else.
Y quien te cobre tampoco tendrá que tocar dinero ni tarjetas.
You don't have to bring any kind of cash or cards with you.
Pagar comisión por la transacción.
Nor will you have to pay any kind of percentage or transaction fee.
También tendrás la opción de enviar y recibir remesas a cualquier hora.
You'll also be able to receive or send remittances at any time of day or night. Guys, this is kind of a big deal, actually. In some countries like El Salvador, where they're very much dependent on remittances for a certain percentage of their population to be able to survive. That's true of several South American countries, Central and South American countries, not just El Salvador. But remittances can be a very large part of certain economies. And I know it seems crazy. You're like, okay, so your entire economy, like people actually buying like bread and like milk and stuff and being able to pay rent and all that, like it depends on their family sending money back home to them from the United States. Yeah, bro, there's an entire other half that lives an entirely different way. I know it seems strange to us, but that's a reality for a lot of people, millions of people.
Sin comisiones. Usar Bitcoin es fácil y es opcional. Gobierno.
They're saying it's easy to use Bitcoin, but it's also optional.
El Salvador.
And then there's the official crest of the government of El Salvador, and they let you know, oh, this is an official announcement by the government of El Salvador. Bro, I mean, did they sell that hard or what? When's the last time you saw a local government ad like that was actually that well produced? Because I don't think I've seen that in a minute here in the United States. Normally they're boring and stuffy, and it's like, oh, this spot was sponsored by your current governor because he wants you to reelect him. And then they jump on camera and they're like, hi, I approve this message. And you're like, dang, really? The same? More the same? Have you, like, is this stock footage from like 30 years ago? Because you could have fooled me if it wasn't. So yeah, there's a lot going into that, guys, for sure. But the Chivo wallet. So we'll see. We'll see if an APK for that comes out for Android here in the United States, and we can start like digging through it, getting people to reverse engineer it and see just like exactly what's under the hood. That'll be a lot of fun when it finally launches, but I don't know, man. A government wallet, just ask yourself, if your federal government issued a Bitcoin wallet, would you use it? I don't think I would. Anyway, so about $1 for transactions. That's going to be disruptive in markets like El Salvador, I think. Everywhere else, we're probably okay. And it's definitely been worse, right? Definitely. In the past, it's been as high as $30 or $50 for a transaction on Bitcoin. And it could be that like some people in the community don't remember that time, but it did exist, right? We did go through that as a growth phase for Bitcoin. Guys, I just want to take a minute to thank you for being here. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up. Those of you who have, thank you so much for being subscribed. Those of you who are, if you're lurking, hit the subscribe button, guys. It doesn't hurt anything for you to do that. And of course, if you're here live, share this video with a friend. Bring somebody into the comment section. They're going to have to subscribe, of course, to make comments, but bring somebody into the comment section so we can get more questions and more answers. Guys, it's really a lot more fun when we've got really involved questions and answers. It is my pleasure to help noobs and people who are just beginning to understand something new, right? And here's the thing. Even if you get kind of like, you're one of those people who's a little bit impatient, I see that person inside you that's really helpful too, right? There's something inside of us as humans that's built into us, right? It's born and bred into us. It's coded into our DNA. It's gifted to us by a divine creator. However it is you choose to see it, it's definitely there. We like to help. So bring somebody in. Let's give somebody a hand tonight to level up. But here we are back on TX Street. And you see over on the left side, this is where we have our Ethereum fees. And this is where it gets interesting, right? This is where it interests us as GPU miners. We've got the median gas price of 104 Gwei right now. It's rather high. The gas fees have maintained a very high amount. When I was on BitBoy's channel yesterday, BitBoy's live stream yesterday, guys, thanks for tuning into that. Those who did, thanks for upvoting my answers. Those of you who did, and apparently I've been invited back. Maybe I'll be a regular like Crypto Jeb one of these days. Who knows? But I've been invited back. Yesterday, it was over 140 Gwei. Guys, when we were looking at it live, it was upwards of 160, 170 Gwei. In some cases, when I looked at TX Street during that live stream, it was over 200 Gwei. So we've got it not so bad right now. Hey, I see Raven Boy Crypto in the comment section. ABMNS Production also says, I don't believe in divine creator, but I agree kindness is part of our DNA. Hey, that's the thing, guys. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. Not at all. But I am here to foster community and here to well, if I can, help build some bridges too. Make sure that people don't feel like they're left out. And yeah, without forcing anything on anyone. But I appreciate you guys being here and speaking your mind and asking your questions, right? We were here to help. So, Ravenboy Crypto asks, anyone seen the RVNFT marketplace? If so, what do you think? That's a great question, guys. Hit them up. If you haven't, take a look. Give me your feedback in the comments section. We're moving towards an NFT marketplace, so it's a pretty big deal to have options, I think. Really. So let's give them some feedback. But we see right now, yeah, our gas fees are at 104 Gwei. Median ETH transfer is just over $8, so $8.27. And then the median contract fee is over $55, $56 right now in real time. John Gaynor is asking Solana versus ETH NFT capability. Bro, that is the question right now, right? But I'm going to throw in a third variable here that maybe people aren't considering that is an option right now. And it's kind of like having your cake and eating it too. On OpenSea right now, which is the largest NFT marketplace, you have the option of using Polygon or Matic, which has far greater throughput and lower fees than Ethereum. And then you can settle all of your transactions and transfer those NFTs back over to the Ethereum main chain at a time when fees are lower. But if you want to bid or if you want to list and mint NFTs, you can do that with the lower fees of Polygon. I'm becoming a much bigger fan, guys. And you may be seeing this like in real time on the live stream, but I think Polygon it's going to be one of those things that kind of saves Ethereum during its time of need right now, while the gas fees are too high. You've got Coinbase accepting Polygon. You've got, you've got OKX that's accepting Polygon as a back-end system to manage their Ethereum holdings and also for settlement out to their users. This is going to be a very big deal. And of course, you've got Ethermine that's been paying out on the Polygon network for many, many weeks now. So we're seeing an extremely low fee environment that's enabled by Matic, Polygon. And while Solana on paper is definitely technically superior, and you can see it in the real world, it's definitely technically superior and it's running right now. If you want to build on it, if you want to mint on it, if you want to use it, it doesn't have quite the same total value locked yet. But yeah, it's getting there. So it's definitely important to take it seriously. But if we're working from a framework of GPU mining, Matic is here now. We're receiving payouts on it here now. We have collateral being delivered to us for GPU mining here right now. So I think there's a lot of merit to looking very closely at Polygon, Matic, and even accepting wrapped Ethereum payments on Matic. That's just my 2 cents. But between just those two, Ethereum and Solana, bro, I'd be minting on Solana, I think, for myself. That's just me. You didn't hear it from me, but yeah, probably. Anyway, William Sullivan, saying, oh my gosh, because I'm in subscriber only mode. There we go. He says, yeah, I own quite a bit of Polygon. Seems like they're making a lot of good moves. Guys, absolutely. Right now, I think we're in for a pretty decent pump on Polygon because of the recent news and because they're also moving towards a less centralized version of governance with a DAO. So that's kind of a big deal. Dang! Ethereum? Oh, why you got to be so sexy, Ethereum? 3,777.12. I'm going to say that more slowly if it gets in the back. Ethereum is 3,777.12. Come get you some. But mine it, right? I think that's the right way to go. Ravenboy Crypto says, so much competition, so many options. It will be interesting to see who's on top next cycle. And I agree. Guys, Ravencoin has held on admirably, despite, trolls like me. Occasionally, I've been kind of a troll. I haven't been like an outright hater, right? Because I hold Raven. It was very profitable. We see it all the time in the charts. But it's doing very well. Quite well. Really, Raven is admirable. It's been an admirable job there. But guys, here on TX Street, we're seeing that gas fee kind of fluctuate up and down from before. It says median gas price is 110, but it's really a bit lower, right? You can still get some lower fee transactions going through into some blocks that are lining up now for 60 Gwei, under 60 Gwei, maybe we'll see some low fee blocks go through tonight. Really, it looks like, though, yeah, getting these little buses out of the station, you're not getting out for less than 80 Gwei, but it's not 110. So I don't know where that median price is coming from, but there you have it. All right, guys, Fiat Leak, let's quickly take a look and see where the Bitcoin is going throughout the world. I'm going to jump straight into that, and we're going to try to get that chart warmed up as fast as we can. And, what's this? Bitcoin at 48,747. It's almost like the whole market is going a little bit crazy. Well, that's what the thumbnail was all about, guys. We're about to get our faces melted live on this live stream because clearly we're in the middle of a market rip. It's great. ABMNS production is saying ETH was actually 3,800 USD a few hours ago. Dang, man, I am just like, I was asleep at the wheel. Here's the thing. I'm working with, I've got a day job and it's not like what I was doing before, guys. I do a lot of side hustles, as maybe I've said before, maybe you're aware of. In addition to the side hustles, I also took on a little bit of a side job. And so I'm like totally blinders on, but it feels great. It feels great working with crypto people, working with people who are an absolute pleasure to work with. So that always makes the difference, right? If you got to work a job, if you got to spend some hours for dollars, you may as well do it with people you actually like spending the time around, right? Or you actually want to go out to lunch with. every day. I think that's, for me, that's always been kind of like the benchmark. It's like, okay, you can always get a different job that pays the same amount, but if you hate, like, literally just seeing those people's faces at lunch every day, because they're like, I'm always complaining, never get anything nice to say, I'm always negative. Yeah, you can do better, right? You can always do better. Probably. Usually. Sometimes you're painted into a corner, not gonna lie. But yeah, usually right. John Gaynor is caging for an answer on ETH Classic. We're coming up to that, but it is definitely profitable. I don't have an answer here on fiatleak.com though. We finally got this thing warmed up though, and we see that it's primarily US dollars. We've got some Japanese yen coming in. We also have some euro with some Korean won. These are the usual suspects, and some British pound. I'm not seeing much else coming in very, very fast. It's a pity and it's an absolute shame that we're not seeing the Aussie dollar come through as much as I think it probably should. Really, guys, sincerely to my Aussie audience, you're in my thoughts, you're in my prayers. I sincerely hope the situation there gets better. I really do. Really, on a serious note, I hope that things improve in Australia. But yeah, Bitcoin is going to the usual suspects. Let's pick up some Ethereum and see where that is going. Some Goblin Loser, I don't know, says, next time is different. Green grass and all that. Greg is in the chat. Greg Moravik is saying, Seth, side hustle Estrada. This is now your given Indian name. That's great. Yeah, because that's where you found me when we first met. It was in a side hustle. You know, it fits. Kind of works. But that would make you, Greg. That would make you Greg falling off the side of a building, Moravik. Wouldn't it? I mean, it fits. So here we are on the ETH chart. It is kind of retracing as we speak. So it's not melting, it's not ripping upwards, but we are still in the midst of a much higher price point than what we saw the other day. And it is primarily US dollars. We see a lot of Korean won. Again, Korea coming out to represent and stopping the moment I say anything with my big fat mouth. And there's the euro pouring in as well, and the British pound. There could be some others that are flowing into Ethereum as well. There are a couple of really great sort of interest-bearing and liquidity-providing platforms that are available to Europeans that are not available to us in the United States. And specifically, gosh, what am I thinking of? I am thinking of Swissborg. Swissborg is a platform that I can't really talk about in depth here, and I certainly couldn't promote it to anybody in our audience. It's not available to people in the United States. And I should also mention that the deep dive video that I released last night, it's also not available in the United States. I feel like I let some people down with that one. Also, I got some negative feedback. People sound like, hey, you don't seem very enthusiastic about this. Here's the thing. I do paid reviews, and I totally disclose that they're paid because it's part of the side hustle, guys. When somebody asks me to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to deliver the best possible thing that doesn't just put them in a good light, but also does help educate people so they can learn more. But I still feel like I let some people down. That's the feedback that I got. And for that, I'm really sorry. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to make it seem like I'm compromising a moral standard, because that's not my intention at all. But at the same time, like, it is a hustle, right? People who say like, oh, all I get is YouTube ad revenue. I mean, heaven help them. Because that's a very, very tough game, and you're always at the whim of the market. You can't go and drum up your own business. That's the beauty of sales, is that if you know how to sell, you're never hungry. So, yeah. Anyway, speaking of the side hustle anyway. But you guys let me know. Was it too much? Was it too little? Should I do more? Should I actually overtly shill? Well, you guys want me to bring you like, hey, look at this new little like Dogecoin miner that I went and had somebody laser engrave on the side of. It's definitely a better Dogecoin miner. You should buy my Dogecoin miner. I'm just kidding. I couldn't do that. But I could probably engrave the sides. I can engrave the sides of like an Avengers lunchbox, and you could put a Raspberry Pi in it if you wanted. I wouldn't mind Doge though. Anyway. There's our ETH chart on fiatleak.com. Let's take a look at our GPUs. Guys, poor John. He's been asking for a minute, like, bro, tell me about Ethereum Classic. And you know what? Who can blame him? Ethereum Classic is another one of those projects that's been holding on for dear life, right? In terms of fundamentals, it's been hodling for years. Despite numerous 51% attacks, it refuses to die, right? They keep innovating their way forward. So this one's for you, John. Let's take a look at this. Let's start with the R9 380. Fox Protocol Mining. The engraving adds 50 Doge a day. Bro, it's true. And if you add RGB, it's like 50,000 more. Like, Science. Jeez, what's wrong with people? R9 380, we're going to start with the cost of power at 14 cents. Keep our volume filter at over 1 BTC daily. That should leave Ethereum Classic in the lineup if it's profitable on this GPU. Again, this one's for John. And let's go to an average of 7 days for profitability and difficulty for revenue. Let's hit calculate and see what we got here. And scrolling on down, bro. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. There it is, top of the stack for profitability on the R9 380 Ethereum Classic, ladies and gentlemen. 58 cents a day, even ahead of Ergo. That's impressive. And if you don't have to sell, it's over $1. That's awesome. Third place is Expanse. Dude, we have not seen Expanse yet, but its trading volume is quite low. See, it's just barely over 1 Bitcoin per day. So that's a little bit of a surprise to see it on the list at all, though, as being profitable. That tells me they've had a recent pumpening effect somewhere. We could add Expanse, I think, soon. Oh, also, John, I should mention, Fox Protocol Mining, the shout out from earlier on was because Fox Protocol Mining is specifically solo mining Ethereum Classic. And the economics of solo mining with the size farm that Fox Protocol Mining has, that it's a really good fit for solo mining Ethereum Classic. Might not be the best way for people to move forward solo mining on like just any coin they want, but it's working for him on ETC. So just that little tidbit is worth mentioning right now because you brought it up. And since we're talking about it, like there are people in the community who are like just mega winning on Ethereum Classic right now. So I'm glad you brought that up. But that's on the R9 380. Let's jump all the way up to the R9 Fury. Slightly higher performance card because of the memory, right? High bandwidth memory, HBM memory. But it's largely the same core, very similar core rather. So similar clock speed and all that. Raven Coin takes the number one spot here though at $1.26. And Zano at 95 cents. Ethereum Classic is still there though, right? 92 cents per day. And if you don't have to sell them, wow, if you don't have to sell them, it's a much more rosy outlook. Raven Coin is over $2. Both Zano and Ethereum Classic are over $1.50. Ergo is at 77 cents, and then Beam is on the list as well. That's impressive, guys. We got options. Again, these are ancient cards that most people have gotten rid of. If you do find them, you definitely can't find them new in box. Like, these are legacy cards, but they're still mining profitably. How does that even work? Ooh, also, I got some word, I think, from... who was it jumped in before? Golden Wolf was watching Bitsby Trippin stream live. Hey, man, I'm not mad at you at all. Bitsby Trippin is an OG, and I love watching some of his media. His live streams, he goes hard in the paint, though. I'm not going to lie. He live streams for a long time. You guys think I can live stream for a long time? Nah, man. Michael, he can live stream for a long, long time and stay on point and be like, and just doing experiments and stuff and showing you the screen and doing hash rate testing and everything. He's an absolute gem in the space, right? A lot of the hash rate testing that he did years ago formed the foundation for what a lot of us creators do now. So mad respect there. Let's see. Hey, we got the Water Jet channel, longest 35 minutes of my life. Bro, I know you don't have any fingers. What are you even doing here, man? Water Jet channel. This guy's a LARPer. But seriously, go check out some of his stuff. I think we're supposed to go and like water jet is it an ASIC? I might have an ASIC we can water jet someday, man. But I mean, if you ever had fingers, just saying, man, safety first, kids. So that's our GPU on the our profitability on the R9 Fury. So we've got next our 4 gig Polaris cards, right? So the 570. Bro, they think I'm joking, man. They think that we're joking. We're going to have to do this. Guys, you don't know me very well. You don't know the WaterJet channel very well. Like, I've brought plenty of ASICs out to the range before and put 12 gauge, not 12 gauge slugs, but double out buck through them. So we know how to have fun here, man. We do. Anyway, so 4 gig Polaris cards. Let's calculate for our profitability there. Scrolling on down, we got the Raven Coin at $1.21. Not bad, guys. This is for an ancient card. And you know what we need to do? Actually, we need to change our ETH4G number to 30.5 mega hash because that's more accurate. That'll give us a better result on Ethereum Classic. Oh my gosh, it wins. Woo! Ethereum Classic back in the #1 spot when we correct for the max profitability or the max performance for that card. And people do better on that card all the time, right? Getting 32 mega hash or 36 mega hash, it's pretty intense. So, I mean, it's common, but it's pretty intense to get 36 mega hash on a Polaris card. But if you dunk them, if you know what you're doing with your overclock and undervolt, John jumps in. He's like, see, I told you, bro, you were right. Here's the thing. We were going to cover it, but you gave us a spoiler, man. You gave us a spoiler. You told us the end in the beginning. I don't know how I feel about that, John. But no, that's pretty cool. Savage Gaming is asking, what's the face melter part? I missed something. Bro, basically the face melter is the entire market right now. Based on the last time that we looked at it, if you're holding anything that's a more traditional asset in this space, specifically your Ethereum or your Bitcoin, we're watching it shift right now. I don't want to betray the chart too soon, but you know what? Should we do it? Should we take a look at the chart? Let's take a look at the chart. All right. Since you asked, here's our Bitcoin chart. We normally save it for the end. I don't think that's appropriate on a night like tonight. We had chopsticks in a downward channel right here. First off, we had this range identified of 40 to 50K, and we've been doing great, right? We see it's been pumping up, and our 200-day moving average and our 50-day moving average have not touched yet, right? Y'all remember Ghostbusters, right? Don't cross the streams. Don't cross the streams. What are we going to do? We're not going to let them cross. So, we're very, very close, right? And the market is just saying, oh, death cross? Nope. No. Rejected. Denied. Again, right? We've been making that way up and up into that 40 to 50K range. And now, who knows? Maybe we finally do stop playing just the tip with 50K and we actually break through. I'm sorry. I'm going to use the right word here. Penetrate the psychological barrier of $50,000. That is the correct word, guys. Don't make it weird. That is the clinical term for what we need to do here. So the face melter would put us into that category. Has it happened? I don't think so. Probably not. But it should. Well, I think we all agree it should. If we can see another face melting pump, we got to rip upwards. If we don't, we experience, just a little bit of death inside, right? A little mini death cross. And if we do, well, then it puts us back into good territory here of not seeing a death cross over the last several weeks, moving gradually upward. Now, is it entirely possible that I'm like totally full of it here because I'm not a technical analyst? Well, yeah, totally. That's entirely possible. So we could absolutely move down from here, but I think that we still have a leg up afterwards. Like that's my innate sense about this market is that it's not done giving us alpha, giving us a great pump in our bags on Bitcoin and Ethereum, both. Like we're far from done. We at least have the rest of the year. But there might be some blood before then. Totally possible. Hey, we got Obi-Wan the homie, aka Beskar Batman, in the house. He said, you had me at face melting. And he throws up the horns. Ian Spiker's in the house also. He says, cheers to Bitcoin penetrating 50K. That's right. But here's the thing. It penetrates your mind first. It is a mind pump first. So, yeah, guys, I think we're in really good territory there. And it probably is appropriate for us to take a look at this chart first. But no other spoilers. We see right here the MACD. It's flipping right to the upside. So I think we're probably in good shape here. I mean, how long can it last? It could absolutely be over right now. We could absolutely see a reversal right now. But I don't think we're maintaining that downward channel, right? That's safe to say. We're no longer there. Let's extend this range, though. And we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. I think I'm really excited to take a look at this chart again on Saturday when I live stream again. My kids told me today over dinner that they want me to do Crypto GTA Story Hour on Saturday. They want me to play Grand Theft Auto for you and talk about crypto on Saturday while showing charts simultaneously, doing both, like somehow meaningfully playing a video game, which I'm terrible at. And also showing some of this stuff too. What do you say? Is it crazy? Is it really crazy? Or is it just so crazy it might work? You tell me in the comments. I need to know. And then some Goblin Loser I don't know says, man, that first 50K hit was so great. Such a dopamine rush. Waterjet Channel says, I like blood. Bro, we know. We get it. We know you like blood. You also have no fingers, but like whatever. So yeah. Yeah. What? He says would be a much bigger dopamine rush if I own BTC, bro. You are playing right now. You're playing right now. Here's the thing, guys. I've known I've known Waterjet Channel for longer than you've known 5-figure Bitcoin. We'll just put it that way. We need to rectify this, man. Guys, prayers for Waterjet Channel and his missing fingers, wherever they are. Maybe we can help them get back into the black, whatever that means for lost fingers. But with portfolios, you know what it means. Let's jump out of this view though and take a look back at our GPU profitability really fast. Really fast. Take a look at our profitability. We were just on Polaris 4 gig models. Let's go to Polaris 8 gig models. Take a quick look at those. Our highest profit coin is, of course, Ethereum. But guys, look at this. When we talk about face melting also, the last time we checked in on mining profits for this card at this price, it was $1.88 on Ethereum for an 8 gig Polaris card. Where are we now? $2.33. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you've got, a little mine full of these, when you've got like whatever, when you got a warehouse full of these, makes a big difference, right? 100 times whatever, 25 cents, 100 times, 50 cents. It adds up fast, right? Like every single day. You're talking about like way beyond what most people call beer money or whatever, or like we're spending cash, right? Like, or your kicks and giggles money. It actually starts to look like a real business when we're in this territory, right? Of this kind of profit. It just adds up as you scale up. So pretty darn cool. Hey, Golden Wolf has got the Stay Savage hashtag going, and I'm sorry, I threw up a peace sign. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. He's got the horns going on, guys. You can always throw those into the chat. It's encouraged. It's appreciated. It helps Savage's family when you do it. So we want to keep Savage's content and channel alive because that ad revenue still pays out to his widow. So throw him up. Anyway, Ethereum top of the stack. Ethereum Classic $1.31. Ravencoin $1.17. Ergo $1.19. Looking good. Just looking good all around. Vega 56, the entry level Vega. Let's calculate for that. Quickly, Ethereum, $3.87. Bro, it's amazing. It's so good. So, hey, we got Dig Deep Miner saying, yo, brother man, good to see you. Thanks for being here with us tonight. Obi-Wan Dahomey throwing up 2 bull signs. Borston is here washing the hands. It's okay. That's good. That's a good idea, too. And some Goblin Loser, I don't know, says, have a safe drive, Golden Wolf. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the support of each other in the comment section. And again, hey, Ken, Brosack, Brobo, if you're here, thanks again for that super chat earlier on. We got to have Ken Bosack on this channel talking about NFTs, don't we, guys? Don't we? Because that would be amazing. He's the NFT Don, really. I mean, you want to talk about an absolute, 10-year overnight success story? Ken is it. He is the dude. He is the guy. He's absolutely got his NFT game down on lock. So I'd love to have him back on the channel. You tell me, though. You want that? Because I think I want that. I think I'm going to reach out and make it happen. But 387 for that Vega 56 on Ethereum. Ergo at 357. Not looking bad, but it's no longer the number one spot. And guys, I'm just going to jump back and say I told you so. I really do think that Ethereum, if you're on some of these more performant cards, I know that Ergo for a while, it was hard to deny there was more profit, but you had to do high frequency sell-offs in order to make those gains realized. Now, if you just set it and forget it on Ethereum, you'd still have collateral. And if you were on, say, Ethermine or any mining pool that paid out on Polygon, you'd have Matic-based collateral to be able to do low-fee trading, low-fee minting, low-fee whatevering on a permissionless blockchain. So I really do think that whenever possible, it's better to stick with Ethereum. Let's see. And that's Vega 56. Waterjet Channel says, how much can you mine on a water jet? We've got a 50 horsepower pump at 60K PSI. Bro, what if we ran it through a water wheel to power a Jenny? So to just be we would get 13% efficiency, right? Like a power loss of over 80%. But what if we did it? We could do it. It's we're going to run this generator. It's going to run this old ASIC over here, make it as like a total Rube Goldberg machine of mining. And then we'll run a nasty old old ASIC. Oh, but here's the thing. We could try to do a recapture system underneath the jet for when you're doing a pass or when you've shot through and when you've passed over something, right? When your tool path has already gone past material. What if you had a recapture turbine underneath? So we were only using wastewater, right? So like, whoa, right? The galaxy brain. We're revolutionizing mining at the industrial scale right here live. Yes, but let's go to our Radeon 7, guys. Sorry, I went way too mega galaxy brain there. Pretty much. I know, everyone's intimidated now. Radeon 7, and our profitability is $7.79 on Ethereum. Ergo at 561. Not even close, guys. Ethereum Classic is still in the running, though, so if you're an Ethereum Classic loyalist, John's making a good case. Clearly very happy with it. On the Radeon 7, I think it makes more sense to be mining Ethereum, but Ethereum Classic, if you're a loyalist, it's not bad, right? You can make that work too. But Ethereum is, I mean, look at that. 467, 776. Like, bro, more than $3 more per day per card. So if you got a rig full of these, you know, handfuls of dollars in difference. I don't think it's worth that trade-off. You can always just trade for those coins if you feel that strongly about it. 5600 XT, 6800 XT. Let's get our composite score. Realize that 60% of this score is going to go to the higher spec cards. It's not really that big a difference, actually. But Ethereum is 867. Again, 60% going to that higher spec card. Ravencoin, 576. Ethereum Classic in third place at 513. Ergo's there as well. Let's jump past that and go into our value and efficiency cards. 1060, 1660, 2060, and 3060 Ti. We're taking for granted none of these are low hash rate models from the 3060 lineup or the 3000 series lineup. And Ethereum at 1076 or 75. Firo in number 2 at 768. And oh, guys, we got Greg in the comment section asking if we've got some networking pros to help him with a question about some Blade servers. Specifically, I think there's a switch system that he's got for some Blade servers that he wants to get operational. But as you know, right, if you work with Blade servers and with certain server systems, you have to understand some of their oh my gosh, why am I not? You have to understand some of their BMC systems, right? You have to understand some of their login systems, some of their setup systems. It's different, right, from working with desktop components, even workstation class components. Reach out, try to give Greg a hand if you've got that experience. Looks like John is in the house and ready to make some house calls. Maybe ask nicely, guys. Maybe send him some ETC. I get the sense that would be motivating to John. So awesome, guys. Glad we found that matchup right away. Firo is at 768. Ravencoin, 711. Rosano is also on the list, but it's below $7 at 631. Same with Ergo, quite a bit below. Let's move from our value and efficiency cards up to the top of the line. 3090, 2080 Ti, 1660S, and then 1080 Ti. Let's calculate for profit on those. And remember, 50% of the hash rate and profit is going to go to the 3090. It's the highest performance card by that much. Yes. Oh, $19. Over $19. Gallo Salome says hello and shows a diamond hat. That's awesome. Diamond top hat. It's classy. Man, now I feel way underdressed. Gallo, you gotta show up the guy on front of the camera. Now I'm like all self-conscious. I'm gonna be like covering myself. I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands because Gallo's got a diamond top hat. But hey, it's good to see you here. And Ethereum is top of the stack for that composite score there. Firo still second place at 1292. Ravencoin at 1213. It's again no contest, guys. Obviously, Ethereum is the way to go on Team Green right now, and on Team Red for that matter, except for your lower spec cards and for your mid spec cards or for your less than 4 gig cards, where Ethereum Classic has once again displaced Ravencoin as the king of profit on GPUs. You love to see it, guys. Competition is very healthy and it's fierce right now for that ETC versus Raven crowd. It's great, guys. It's really great. We want this. Really, we need these teams to innovate. The Ravencoin team, they've done a lot of good work, and the Ethereum Classic team has done a lot of good work. Right now, we basically need to, like, a la Joker, right? Need to break a pool cue, throw it out in the middle of them, and be like, cool, tryouts. Who's going to survive? Because the next time we get to a bull run, we definitely need one or both of them to be a lot stronger. We just do. We need them to be stronger than they were this time around. We really do. And for those of us who have been holding on, I feel like we've earned it. Just saying. I'm not getting too entitled or whatever. But I think we feel like we've earned it for sure. Anyway, just saying. Let's go to the cost to mine one full Bitcoin. Let's go to our Antminer S9 and bring the power up to something that is actually doable. 8 cents per kilowatt hour power. Guys, this is not difficult for you to find. I should say it's not impossible for you to find. If you have to go across the train tracks, do it. You're going to save the money, right? 14 cents per kilowatt hour power. If you're in some crazy state like California or New York where you're getting charged, 20 cents per kilowatt hour or more, go out to the industrial district. I mean, use your noggin. I can't just tell you everything here on the live stream because it gets weird, right? Some people are like, whoa, you're giving away my alpha. I know people that do this thing professionally too. And I still do take like consulting calls. So I don't make it weird when they're like, hey, you just told everybody else or you just told me. Gosh, that sounds like such a terrible thing to say. Point is, if you look for it, guys, use your noggin. Go to the industrial areas, scour, look for it, beg, borrow, steal. Don't steal, don't go to jail. Not over mining, it's just crypto, guys, at the end of the day. But get your hands on 8 cent power. It's available somewhere in your town or in your city or in your state, or maybe just over the ferry into the next state. It's usually not that far away. You can do it. You can find it for sure. But 8 cent power is doable in basically every state of the union. Some states you can get it lower, right? Washington is a great example of that. The Carolinas, I think, you can get it cheaper than that. Texas, you can get it cheaper than that, especially if you're generating on site and co-generating on site, because then, at that point, you've got tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands into infrastructure that's literally just power generation. So you would know who you are if you have access to this kind of power, right? This rate for power. But 8 cents you can find without doing all that stuff. The Waterjet channel, just wire before the meter, bro. The FBI just entered the chat. They're like, Waterjet channel, where are you guys based again? 50,000 PSI. Yes. Okay. Got it. Anyway, apparently Ohio's got some great power as well. So yeah, guys, there are plenty of states where you can find it at 8 cents per kilowatt hour power. 8 cents per kilowatt hour, maybe a little bit lower. Fox Protocol Mining says, 8.8 cents per kilowatt hour. Hey, that's rough. I know if you're in Pennsylvania, for example, though, they've got some phenomenal areas of Pennsylvania where it's not residential, but because there's so much farmland, you can get like the ag exemption or the farm exemption and have it basically commercially run to your property. Just have like a feedlot or like stables built on your house, or like a field where you can tie off some like goats or something, and all of a sudden you're a farm and they'll get the cheapest possible rate. So there's some hacks out there too, guys. Just saying, I'm not giving away like any secrets there. You'll know if you live in an area like that, and you'll be able to find it. And if you don't live in an area like that, get in your gosh darn car and go find one, right? It's not that far away. So 8 cents per kilowatt hour power, we're at 24,000 USD for one full Bitcoin. Even on the S9, I'm comfortable with that. 14 cents per kilowatt hour, we're getting dangerously close to the break-even point, and I'm not very comfortable with that. If we correct, which we could, right? We very well could. We know it's possible. If we correct, we're looking at a correction that might make this a very uncomfortable purchase point for Bitcoin, price point for buying Bitcoin. Like right now, if you're not comfortable going and buying Bitcoin at 48K, I don't think you're going to be comfortable mining Bitcoin at 41K if it drops to like 20, right? But if you mine it at like 24, you won't be like, oh my gosh, everything mining is a lie and Seth is terrible and he's so mean and you're ugly and I hate you. Like, or whatever, whoever it is you blame, right? You'll be like staring at your Beanie Babies like, oh, I knew you'd come back to haunt me. And now you just look like Bitcoin. So you're going to feel better if you acquire it lower. That's the bottom line. Just if you acquire it lower and you get lower power. Let's jump from this model though over to our MicroBT M20S. And at 14 cents per kilowatt hour power, you're already at $24,000 for one full Bitcoin on this newer hardware. This is where efficiency is so important, right? And if you bring it down to 8 cents per kilowatt hour, now you're looking at something more along the lines of $14,000. This is what I call drought tolerant, right? Or drought resistant Bitcoin. Because this, in the middle of this bull run, I mean, if we do correct at the end of this bull run back to 10K, which I'm just going to say for the record, I know it sounds crazy. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. The last bull run, we went up to 20K, right? In December of 2017, we retraced to still 5 figures into like 10K, 13K, and we bounced between 9K and 11K for months, right? That was our range for a while. And then we stayed steady at like 6.5K for a while. And then we got pushed off a cliff down into the depths of hell. And we lived at like $3,500 Bitcoin for a while. It was disheartening, right? If you were there, it was like the sentiment in the markets was so depressing. People were just like absolutely beside themselves in Bitcoin and especially in crypto Twitter. It was just not a good scene. And so when people say like, oh, is it possible that we could definitely see something like $10,000 Bitcoin? Just gonna say it again for the record, guys. It's not out of the question. It's really not. After this market finishes correcting, when it finally does correct, because it always corrects at some point, right? We're not exempt from sort of like the laws of markets. They just do what they do, right? That's just how it works. So when it does correct and we finally go back into a bear market, could we see $10,000 Bitcoin? You're darn right we could. It's entirely possible. And I'm not calling some kind of prediction here. I'm not saying it definitely will, but it absolutely could. So you want to be as price insensitive in your mining as possible if you are just mining Bitcoin. So that's why I say like here, shoot for those efficiencies with both the hardware profile and with the cost per power. Don't be complacent because the price of Bitcoin today happens to put you in the money by just a little bit. If you had to sell off anyway, you'd wind up with just such a tiny amount that you'd be kicking yourself anyway. Really, I mean, I've been saying it for a while. If all you got are S9s, maybe consider going to ultra cheap power, either hosted at 5 cents per kilowatt hour, co-generated at some massive gas flaring operation. And I'm not joking. I'm not like making a joke here at all. If you know somebody who's into that, is into oil and gas, and you can find a gas flaring operation, literally talk to them. Like, go work those contacts. Do whatever you can to get your S9s to very cheap power so that you're more comfortable if and when the market corrects. Yeah, maybe it's not a violent correction. And hey, maybe it just puts you, that much more in the money. But if it is a violent correction, maybe it saves your bag. Just saying. All right, that's our cost to mine one pool Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the, there we go, mining pool stats. I blew this up because I was on BitBoy's channel the other day and I wanted to make sure it was very legible when I showed it off because they had me running through a different video mixer. Looks like the hash rate on Bitcoin hasn't really changed very much. We're still about 125 exahash total across the entire Bitcoin network. Ethereum also, we're still above 600 terahash, but not radically higher than last time we streamed. Anything else you guys want to see here? I think that Dogecoin and Litecoin are not, I don't think they're growing at quite the same rate. Maybe we should be paying closer attention to them. Now that I say it, right? I was making a wisecrack before and straight up, I was making a wisecrack about Voscoin's Dogecoin miner. It's great, man. The kid's doing great. Drew, if you're watching, you're doing awesome, really. What he did with his limited edition silver mint coins, that was super cool. And what he's doing right now with having his own miner, that's pretty cool too. Couldn't be me, but it's cool for him. And we probably should be paying attention to what Dogecoin and specifically the S-Crypt network is doing because it's shared, right, between Dogecoin and Litecoin, merge mined. So yeah, maybe we'll take a look at that in the future. I can't be bothered right now. I just don't care that much. Anyway, here's our portfolio on GPU mining. We got Ergo at the top of the list. What? It really surged forward, man. Ergo surged, yo. There it is at 90% up. First off, our total portfolio over 24 hours has gone up by 7.33%, and the total P&L is up by 7.77%. We are in the black, baby. This is good news. Ergo, Ravencoin, Ethereum, and then BTC, or RAT representations of BTC, all above $1,000. Let's see where the dividing line is. It is below Polygon. Polygon has made the cut. It's back, right? It's got its game face on, especially over the last 24 hours. That 10% pump absolutely saved its bacon. The announcement from both OKX and from Coinbase using Polygon as its back end has barely brought it back to our price that we acquired it back in May 26th. So it's back, baby. Zono is right behind it. Beam, not too far behind. Etho Protocol, not in the dumps yet, but down towards the bottom, we still got Haven at dead last, 55% down, and last 24 hours, big ups, right? It represents the majority of the last week's alpha. Right, the last week's price action is in the last 24 hours, and we're back up over $5 to $5.61. Guys, I done told you, been trying to tell you, I really do think that Haven is still just getting warmed up. I think it's actually undervalued. Don't want to shill it. Don't have actually even any direct exposure right now. I should probably fix that. Gosh darn it, I keep talking about the thing. But I don't have any direct exposure. I'm not invested in Haven right now, but I know what the team is working on is important, and they've gotten back to work. They've had, for all the setbacks they've had, they've always bounced back. So there they are. Swap is in second to last. Really flagging. It's really suffering. Swap is absolutely struggling to maintain any kind of positive price action. It could just be that it's losing a lot of faith from investors and people basically just like dumping it. Couldn't be me. I don't do that to projects that I've held on to for a long time, but I feel bad for them. Hey, the Swap team, I know you guys have worked really hard, and some of the developers at Swap have been really good faith actors in the rest of the crypto note space, including helping with Monero Research Labs, helping with the Trade Ogre non-KYC exchange. And so it's a bummer to see this project kind of not do well, but there it is. Mimblewimble coin not far behind it though. Let's move from our GPU mining portfolio over to our hard drive portfolio. Let's see what's happening with the hard drives. And before you correct me and say it's hard drive farming, Seth, it's not hard drive mining, I'm going to say this is my channel and I'll cry if I want to. So back into our portfolio for hard drives. Top coin is Made Safe still, though it just does its own really weird thing. See that crazy chart with that massive pump and then it drops right back down? That's in no way correlated to Bitcoin, not even the slightest. But we've got almost everything back into profit except for Signum and Chia. Chia's still down. Actually, it's down worse. The percentage basis is down even worse than before, I think. Nope, actually not that bad. But our total P&L over 24 hours is 9% up. And our total P&L for the portfolio since we started it is 0.25% up. So our portfolio is in the black. Chia is in the red, though. And it's absolutely the anchor of this portfolio still to this day. See all these other coins? 45% in the black, 41% in the black, 10% up, 8% up. And it's being dragged down by these two that have a combined, gosh, almost 100% down. So, gosh, there you go. Unfortunately, Chia is the anchor here. Gallo saying, hey guys, are Inno3D GPUs any good? I found a couple of 2060 Supers, but I've never heard of the brand. Inno3D actually used to create the mining edition parts. So for the 1000 series, Inno3D or InnoSilicon did create. No, sorry, not InnoSilicon. Inno3D. Sorry, InnoSilicon is the ASIC manufacturer, but Inno3D has made mining edition parts. So I think, are they good for mining? Almost definitely. If I found them at a good price, yeah, I'd probably get Inno3D cards. In the same way that I'd get palette cards, or I would get, why can't I think? Manly cards also. Even though they're not like popular brands in the United States, but if I could find them at a good price, yeah, I'd get them. They mine very well. And they tend to run extremely well even after they've been mined on, and they tend to, not that they hold their resale value the same as the more popular brands, but we're miners, dude. We're going to get complained at no matter what we buy anyway. So if you buy stuff that gamers don't want after you're done with it, then when they complain, you just be like, well, you weren't going to buy it anyway, man. Like, what are you complaining about, right? So that's our hard drive mining portfolio. Chia still kind of a disappointment from an investment standpoint, but it's still over the $200 mark, which is awesome. Skilled Checkmates says BTC 49.5. What just happened? We must investigate. There it is, guys. Oh, I promised you the satisfaction of getting your face melted, and here we are. Yeah, it's happening. That's awesome. There it is. There's that candle. Can we wick up over 50K? Can we do it? You can do it. You can do it, Bitcoin. You can do it all night long. Alrighty. Just for kicks, let's throw our chopsticks onto here, guys. And if you haven't already checked out the Telegram channel, if you're into Telegram, we've got it down in the description of this video. It's actually called Mining Chopsticks now, just because I really, really love the fact that I don't know anything about technical analysis. And I don't mean to be like, to revel in my ignorance too much, just the right amount. But yes, and if this keeps up, guys, obviously, based on our chopstick analysis, we will clearly hit $1 million Bitcoin in no time. But anyway, I just wanted to move them somewhere else. That's pretty cool. It's an ascending triangle, though, and it does seem like, based on our tops, at least, that depending on if, here we go, let me get these to line up a little bit more carefully. First top of candle to last top of candle as we start our ascent. And actually, if I'm being honest, it's there. He says this, he's like hopelessly scrawling on this chart with crayon and a bib. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we almost could draw like an ascending triangle that has a termination somewhere in the low 50s, though. Just for kicks, right, guys? Just for kicks. Aussie Bogan Tech says, lol, 1 million in the next 10 minutes. I mean, if it could do that for my live stream, Bitcoin, that'd be great. Thanks, Bitcoin. You're a team player. Love ya. But, yeah, right here, though, I mean, if this ascending triangle even just kind of holds true, and I know it seems like it seems parabolic, right? It seems like almost crazy. But if it holds true, we could be somewhere in like 51, 52K range if we do actually manage to punch through 50K. And if we don't, we still have that 50-day moving average and that 200-day moving average to resolve. And I think we're probably still going to see the 50-day stay above the 200-day. I don't think we're going to see a death cross yet. I don't think we're on track for that just yet. But it could be any day now. It could absolutely happen. It could reverse. And we could just say like, oh, bummer. Things are going down now. Maybe we do see 20K Bitcoin or whatever, like the doomsday scenarios, but not for long. Realistically, it's got more steam in it for this bull run. But thanks for the shout out there. Definitely appreciate you calling that out. Skilled checkmates. Love taking a look at the chart again right now. That's our Bitcoin chart. Jumping back into our other portfolios, though, that's our hard drive mineable portfolio, and CPU mining portfolio is only 4 coins right now. Guys, are there any other CPU mineable coins you want me to chart? Because I'd love to. 24-hour change, we're up 11.7%. Total PNL, we're up 4.15%. That's great. Christian Bulmer says, although I hodl, I watch Crown Crypto K for TA. That guy is crazy good, man. Hey, that's great. I'll take a look as well and see if I can learn a thing or two about some indicators here. I mean, it's not that I haven't ever put Fibonacci levels on a chart before, but I'm really uncomfortable doing that sort of thing publicly and pretending like what I've represented about the market matters at all, because we've seen Bitcoin do some crazy things. I mean, you watch people who were known, like, or who claimed like, hey, I called the $20,000 Bitcoin top in 2017. In fact, I called it 6 months in advance. Or they say, hey, I called the $64,000 top just a while ago and warned everybody they were going to lose their money. And then they try to tell everybody what Bitcoin's going to do right now, and they fail. Yikes, right? Hindsight's 2020. Of course, we were all geniuses. We all called tops. We all called bottoms. So, yeah. Yeah, and I can't pretend to be like some technician either, but I will take a look at that guy. Thanks for the recommendation. That's great, because there are some people who are like crazy good at this stuff. So Aussie Bogan Tech says if it hits 52K and then drops to 32K, then pumps, this will be my happy place and make me money. Not advice. Christian Bowman says, I'm the same. Just saying, hey, that's great, man. I do appreciate the feedback there. I love finding new channels that offer genuine value. That's great. Monero is our leader right now. It's over $1,000. Looks like everything is except Varus coin, which again makes me sad. The development team, I think, means well, but there was for a while less interference on their trading. And it could be that there's either a staking attack of some sort again, or there's some kind of a problem with wash trading again, and maybe that's why they're suffering in terms of it being a good hold right now. That said, I think that they mean well, and their project goals are not terrible, right? They're really not bad at all. Douglas is asking thoughts on Polygon. Hey, I actually gave it a glowing review earlier on in this live stream, and I think that it's making big moves right now with Coinbase and with OKX. huge moves from Polygon, and I think that we ignore it at our peril. We'll take a look at that in just a minute here. Let's see. John says, nope, gotta sell because I paid scalper prices for a lot of GPUs. Ouch. I'm sorry, man. That's a bummer. Waterjet Channel is asking, when moon? Bro, I'm always asking that too. But here's the thing. Like the moon, if you look for it, it's always there. Mind blown. It's like the sun. It's always in the sky. But you have to know which direction to look and how to find it. So from our portfolio here on CPUs, guys, Monero and Raptorium are just like doing crazy good. I believe that Raptorium is the most profitable to mine on CPUs compared from these three right here. Veriscoin, I've heard from people, is also quite profitable depending on your CPU profile. Ooh, Dig Deep Miner is asking, why not cover HNT and MXC? I think that MXC did reach out to me privately, directly once, to ask for a paid review, specifically, and they wanted me to take a look at one of their miners. I was uncomfortable with it. So, guys, I just want you to know, like, they offered me money and free hardware. What miner doesn't like that, right? Like, clearly, we're mining because we like both, or we like hardware at least, but we especially like it when it's free. They actually offered me that. And the other details I'm not going to disclose, but they did reach out to me and I said no. And then a third-party maker of the helium miners reached out to me and asked for a review as well. Here's the crazy thing. They offered money, but not hardware. And I asked, like, oh, wait. Gosh, I don't want to go to too many specifics here. Spenny, bro, where you been all my life? Thanks for being in the chat. Spencer Daymore is saying HNT is sketchy. You took the words out of my mouth, bro. But he is a cat. That's what cats do. So, yeah, I'm not really happy with it. And here's why. Internet of Things is already this huge threat to personal data privacy, right? Like your personal information, it can be compromised in a number of ways. But in particular, when you have like webcams on everything, like your doorbell and like inside your house pointing at your wherever, like the bathroom or whatever, which I don't know why people do that, but people do it, dude. It's just stop. But people do it, right? Like they're not going to listen. They're going to keep doing it. But people put cameras everywhere inside their homes and then they connect them to the internet. They don't secure their wireless. They allow for feeds to totally get hacked by third parties, owned easily, right? Home networks get owned easily all the time. We can go over an episode where we just like, and I'm not even like a security guy. I'm not even like an InfoSec guy. But this stuff is known to us because we work in mining, right? So you got to know some of this stuff. But home networks get owned all the time. And then you got all these cameras inside your house. IoT is a really bad thing because the average user is kind of a dum-dum with security. They're not being careful. So Helium, or HNT, and MXC, they both encourage people to do more of this and then bounce all of these signals through your place, through your IP address. Nah, man, I just can't get into it. I can't. And I've had these companies like, again, offer me stuff and offer me money. And I've just said no. Consistently, I've said no. Or in one or two cases, I've given them my get lost price. And they're like, what do you, little prima donna. Oh my gosh. And, that's fun too. But whatever. We all have our ways, right? We all have our ways of saying no. And especially with clients. I think you're never supposed to actually say like, no. You're supposed to, say something else that makes them give up. So, yeah, I don't like the Internet of Things projects. I think that they're a dangerous precedent for humanity. And I know that sounds like super like James Bond villain type thing, right? But like, I think they really are. Like, they're going to be the undoing of a lot of people in this generation. So, Bill says, segregate your networks, ... Going to try HNT. Bro, you can do that. That's great. And I think for you can make that work. I think most at-home users who are plugging in a webcam on their doorbell or plugging in some other, like a bunch of like Google Nest devices or a little Amazon Alexa or Echo or whatever, they're not going to segregate their network. They just won't. And I'm just going to posit the theory, the educated guess that you don't either. Even though you're going to do that for this device, I'm going to guess that you don't segregate your network for those devices. So even somebody who knows better quite often doesn't do better when it comes to putting spy gear inside of their own home. So I worry about the precedent that's being set. And Bill's a sharp guy, right? Sharp guy. He brought it up. Gordon also saying, yep, did an all IoT devices in a DMZ, right? Demilitarized zone, guys. Just DMZ is, we call it that for short. Well, it is like called a DMZ. Like, this is actually the terminology, guys. So yeah, put it in a DMZ. But like, again, I don't pretend to be a networking expert, but like these are terms that we need to be conversant in, right? As lay people, we got two experts in our audience, like legit experts in our audience. But I worry about most people who are even kind of like getting, who know better than average, who still don't do it. They don't take the security precautions. So I don't like encouraging people to look at these projects. And I think that everyone who like reviews them for either a quick buck, an easy review of hardware that was sent to them for free, and a referral code, which a lot of us have done it, right? Like we do things in order to keep our businesses running, right? In this field of content creation. I think people who do that for this particular type of project, they're not really measuring the negative consequences, because it's not just negative consequences to people putting these mining rigs in their homes. It's negative consequences to everybody who is connecting to IoT, right? Mindlessly connecting to IoT, or not knowing how to configure their networking at home. So anyway, I do appreciate the feedback from the experts in the audience. So guys, really, I don't mean it to come across as like me doubting your expertise in the area. I worry about most everybody else, almost everybody. So I think it's a bad precedent to set. But going with CPU mineable coins over to ASIC coins. Some Goblin Loser I don't know says Amazon Sidewalk, bad news. Hey, I agree. Let's see what else. We got some other comments coming in. Greg Moravec says, I hate Alexa Echo, bro, on the DL. She told me she hates you too. He's so mean. Anyway, we got some other stuff from Obi-Wan to Homie, aka Beskar Batman. Preach, my brother, from another mother. Yeah, right? And Gallo saying, when Flux Dap. Oh my gosh. He's calling me. Gallo's calling me. Guys, so okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bill chimes in and says, I get where you're coming from. I don't do the doorbell or other stuff. Smart man. Smart man. Here's the thing. People who know and who do segregate their networks and who are meticulous about them don't just put any old thing on their network, right? So I appreciate you saying that. That's nice to hear. I was asked in the comments about Gallo when Flux Dap. So I'm just going to go public with it, guys. I reached out to the Flux team and I straight up asked them, hey, could you get something running for me on Flux if I asked? If we can get specifically if there's a Docker implementation of a couple things that I like, could we get them running on Flux? And I got word back that they were like, we might be able to. We might. So we're just talking about that right now, but it's an idea right now. We haven't got anything running yet, but Discord's okay. I don't mind it. But it's not private and it's not decentralized, and crypto projects and communities have been shut down there before. And the only way to carve out your space in the digital world is to host it yourself, frankly. So if you don't want to be censored on like Medium, you got to host your own blog. If you don't want to be shut down on Facebook, you got to go to Mastodon, right? Or something else. And same with Twitter, whatever else. And if you don't want to be shut down on Twitter, on Discord or say Telegram, then you have to have your own chat service up and running. So I would really, really like to have something like that running on Flux, not Keybase because they were acquired by Zoom, not Discord, right? Because they have shown a tendency to shut down some communities when they disagree with them. Wall Street Bets comes to mind. It's kind of sad that they just gave in and they gave up the Wall Street Bets people. So yeah, thinking of something like that. Thinking of something along those lines, but you guys tell me, would you be willing to try something new? Because Discord is comfortable for some people. Christian is asking Rumble, Odyssey. I already back up all my videos here on Odyssey. I've not begun publishing on Odyssey first because it's not the best platform for discovery, right? So, and right now I'm in a growth phase with this channel. We just crossed 11,000 subscribers, which for this channel is kind of a big deal. It's a big milestone, guys. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Brad Hardman is saying, love this channel, miner for life, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that. And passing 11,000 subscribers is a big milestone for us right now, and we're only moving up, right? The community, the live chats, the great conversations we have, right? For every great comment we get from a guy like Bill and from John and others who talk about like some of their expertise, Gordon and others who talk about their expertise, Spenny when he's here and is able to carve out some time because he's actually a full-time like IT pro that does a lot of mining. And like for all the experts that come into the channel, we get a lot of noobs too, right? It is great. It's great when we get that matchup and people learn stuff together. So a larger audience hopefully helps us get more of that live here, all right, in the chat while we're streaming. It's a lot of fun. So I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. And when we cross 15K, we will be doing another laser cut. Another laser cut Raspberry Pi topper. Oh no. The water jet channel is going to be like, bro, you use lasers? We can't be friends anymore. But we're going to do another laser cut Raspberry Pi topper for somebody's full node at some point when we get to 15K. So we're definitely doing that, but it'll be a different limited edition cut. Nobody else in the world has one like this, right? There's only one person in the world who has it. And this is just my test cut, and it's not going on even on my Raspberry Pi. So 15K, we'll get another limited edition Raspberry Pi topper. I'm excited about that. But anyway, appreciate it, guys. Let me jump out of the way here and show you the ASIC portfolio. We got Decred at the very top of the list. Waterjet Channel saying, congrats, when collab? Dude, we've been talking about it. Because I've been watching like Jerry Rig Everything. Bro, have you seen his all-electric Hummer? It is sick. It is sick. And he had a local place do all the metal cutting, but they do metal bending too. So yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, Waterjet Channel is offering to do a Raspberry Pi case topper on the Waterjet when we hit 20K. What do you think about that? And here's the thing, his Waterjet, you could totally cut it to like 1/4 inch, stainless if we wanted it done that way. So, I mean, that's a yes from me. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate that. But if you saw Jerry Rig Everything, he's got this custom battery shelf inside of this new H1 Hummer that he's converting into all electric, and he had that cut from a local place, but it's like a multi-kilowatt fiber laser that they're using to cut through like 1/2 inch stainless. It's crazy. But anyway, but they do metal bending there too, so they can do like full fab of some of the stuff they have there. But anyway, so here we are in ASIC mining portfolio. Decred first place, Bitcoin second place. They're actually not as close as they were before. Decred is quite farther ahead. Dash number 3, but after Zcash, everything else is in the red, and our total PNL we're only up by less than 1%. So that's kind of a bummer there. Moving down the list, we got Bytecoin dead last. You've heard me say it before. I think that may be appropriate for it, but Pirate Chain, man, what did Pirate Chain ever do to deserve that, right? 22% down from the time that we purchased it back in May 26th. That's just a bummer, guys. Pirate Chain and the Pirate Chain team has worked really hard to keep a very good private project. One thing I'll say that's a bit of a disappointment, I think a lot of people are disheartened by it, is that when you look at this right here, the total proposed supply is 200 million right? 200 million coins. Right now, the currently emitted supply is 186 million and change, right? It's kind of crazy based on when they launched, right? They've got a lot of it already emitted. So that does kind of, that's kind of a turnoff to some people who are looking at it, but it's still profitable to mine, I think, on ASICs. And there are a lot of other people who, they just, they swear by it. So they hold on to it and they want to use it at commerce the way that Monero is right now. Aussie Bogan Tech, I think, has a great outlook on it. He's saying cheap R. Right? When you see something that's distressed a little bit right now, it's probably momentary. Who knows? We may see it return to its former glory. And it's just had a rough week too, right? So it's 19% down. That almost fully accounts for its current market position in this portfolio. So yeah, we could see this return. Maybe it's a good time to buy. Maybe you didn't hear it from me, but I think maybe we're seeing an opportunity there to enter into it. Dogecoin is up to 30 cents. It's gone kind of parabolic over the last 24 hours, but let's compare that again. I love to compare it to our CPU mineable coin, CPU mineable meme / testnet coin, Wownero. It's not even close. Wownero is at 48 cents, just punching Dogecoin in its doggy little face all day. Bad doggy. Punched right in the snout. with brass knuckles on CPU mineable algorithms. There we go. That's finally spat it out. So FPGA mining portfolio, 24-hour change, we're up 7%. Total P&L, we're still down by over 16%. Cadena is still over $1,000. Everything else is below. 0x Bitcoin. It's the 0x Bitcoin show, guys. How many times have I showed you this chart from 0x Bitcoin and be like, oh, what cool. Hey, Waterjet channel, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man. He's got to go, but we will, let's connect. Man, I'm almost never on Facebook. I know, you know, and I know you can hit me up there. So hit me up there. We'll chat. We'll do that collab sooner than later. But yeah, 0x Bitcoin show. It's not really the 0x Bitcoin show, but we show this chart a lot. Just chart a lot. It's like a seismograph, right? Some goblin loser I don't know is like, whoa, I'm in love with 0x Bitcoin chart. Bro, I am too. It's so crazy and volatile, but it's like clockwork. It's like, dude, you know that somebody out there, that this is their retirement plan, basically. Over the last 2 years, they've made themselves like a multi-millionaire on this price movement on 0x Bitcoin, and they were holding out on us. They're just like, yeah, this is kind of like, you know, whatever. We got a little like oscillator here. I'm just going to do my swing trades and set up some bots over on this exchange. I'm going to wash over on that one. I'm going to actually take profits over on that one. And they've just been making money hand over fist. You know that at least one person out there has been doing that. When you see volatility like that, it's clearly programmed, right? It's crazy. Bill's throwing out an audible on BTC. We're at 49.6. Ooh, we're almost there. Guys, oh my gosh, we wicked over and we came back. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. It's because my chart is not at 50. It's at 48 or 49. Why do you do that, Seth? Play with your own emotions. Stop it. All right. Let's rectify the situation. Let's get a proper, get up to 49,956. Okay, so now at least we'll know if it definitely pokes through there. We know where we really are. Alrighty. And line that up as well. Okay, so now we've got a better visual representation. We can kind of see it a little more clearly. And we had a false positive from that last peak up over 50K. It was actually just barely up over 49. That's what we were seeing before. BTC Cannon is throwing out an audible on Cardano, saying ADA is almost $3. What? Okay. There you go, man. Dark horse. And if they do manage to provide some working smart contracts and they help us port some code from other smart contract networks, then hey, this may only be the beginning for Cardano, right? Like this could be a really, really big turnaround for them. Spenny's saying that 0x BTC mining on FPGAs was great. Dude, you're not wrong, right? Like for people who knew how and when, it was, yeah, rather plentiful. It kind of makes me want to look back here and see how much I let go when I sold my 0x BTC bag. It's been a while, right? Like, cause I was like, this isn't going anywhere. But 55 cents, man, I would have been happy to get 55 cents for my 0x Bitcoin bag. Bad, Seth. Kicking myself, you know, but with love. One must love themselves when they kick themselves. Those are the rules. I don't make them. So FPGA mining portfolio looking good. Proof of stake smart contracts. I've added something to this portfolio and it is Phantom. Guys, who here knew about Phantom and didn't tell me? Or worse, tried to shill my comments so that I had to like ban them or whatever. Like, you can just say it, right? But you don't have to be like, oh, here's all the details and I'm going to write just like a bot. That's how you get, I mean, this is why we can't have nice things. This is how people get banned from comment sections. But like Phantom? Dude, going crazy this week. It's going crazy. So let's go ahead and add a transaction for Phantom right now. Nope. First off, order of operations. Let's open this up so we can see our price action back in time. We'll add a transaction now. Son of a tech. Son of a mother living tech. How many more adjectives we had? Son of a mother living GPU mining hash rate overclocking undervolting tech. What? You guys, somebody sample that and please make some kind of a beat. Please make some kind of a theme song for Son of a Tech, right? Wouldn't that be dope? Yeah, that'd be dope. And he would play it as his intro theme song because he always has an intro theme song and an outro song. Oh, wait. That's me. Gotta step on my game. Shoot. Good to see you here, though. Thanks for stopping by. We've got Phantom, though, guys, and let's jump back in time to see what its price was way back go to the pricing Wayback Machine of $5.26 and jump back on this side at $5.27. And now we've got the range that we need to be able to see the price on that day. The 26th at, specifically we got to see it at, well, we want to see it ideally at 1750 hours, 1730 hours, but 1700 hours is probably just fine. And he's saying, let's see. So I just got back from the farm and got to file some return on some PSUs. Dude, that's cool. You can actually get your PSUs returned there. That's great. You don't get blocked on returning PSUs. They're volatile and mean parts. Our price, guys, on Phantom at that time was 37.483 cents. So let's throw that into here. 37.483 cents. And let's also take that number, grab a little calculator, and that whole, like, you know, school teacher telling you, you will need math to survive. I will have a calculator, teacher. I will show you. You still have to know the order of operations, genius. Okay, so there we go. Grab all that, throw it into our quantity, and bada boom. Now we know we've got $1,000 invested in that coin. Yeah? Yeah, teacher was kind of right. Kind of. So May 26th at 5. Yeah, it was actually, not too far from now. So like 5:11 p.m. I think is what it was said. Oh, wait, no, how'd it go to? 5, you silly. All right. So we're going to put that buy in there. And whoa, ICP still peeking down from the depths of Dante's Inferno. Say hello to whatever, Jimmy Hoffa. Who's down there with him? I don't know. I don't want to make it. I'm going to get sued for slander. Who's down there in the depths of hell with ICP? Tell me. With Internet Computer. Name names, guys. I want to see names down in the comments section. Who is sharing a jail cell in purgatory with Internet Computer right now? Polygon Matic is still down quite low, but it recently had some pumpeting. So second to last, kind of a bummer. It was higher before in the ranking, and I suspect with the recent news, it might go up again. So we'll see. But some goblin loser says Al Gore for sure. Who else, guys? I need names. I want names now. But top of the list, we got Terra, Solana, Phantom. Thank you, guys. How did we miss this? We were putting Terra in here, Solana in here. How did we miss this? Dirt Dog Mining says, I'm in ICP jail. Oh. It's, I'm in ICP jail. It's like from The Office, right? I'm in ICP jail. Sorry. Spenny has outed himself as an Insane Clown Posse fan. It's okay. You know, Spenny, we had some suspicions, but it's okay. We like you, man. You're cool. Just don't talk about it very much. Our 24-hour change is plus 6.25%. Since we started the portfolio, our P&L is up 63.64%. Very, very healthy portfolio here, guys. Clearly, it pays to promise proof of stake. Oh my gosh. It really pays to promise proof of stake and promise smart contracts for as long as you possibly can, convincingly. So, yikes. Maybe we all got it wrong with mining in the first place. But there you have it, guys. Terra Luna is just, it's just still just shredding right there. So putting $1,000 in, you'd have over 4,000 right now, because we did that transaction at roughly the same time as what we just did on Phantom. Solana is well over 3K and Phantom over 2K. Wax just barely over 2K. And I think these four are starting to shape up to be extremely good market leaders in this space. Some goblin loser says, very sugary soda of choice, though. Is that, are you thinking Fanta? No, yeah, Fanta soda. I don't remember, yeah. It's the sugary drink of choice south of the border, for sure. That and Coca-Cola, obviously. But yeah, man. Avalanche. And I think Avalanche got some pretty bad press that it's coming back from. Let's see. Christian Bulmer is... Hey, he says, gotta go. Hit the likes and subscribe, guys. Rock on, mind your biz. Thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate you being here. But we got Cardano also. It's kind of a little bit lower in the list than these others. And we'll see what happens, like people are saying. Sure, it was $3 before. But No, it's I think that's what they were saying. It's a little over $3, or about $3 now, just a little under $3 right now. But Avalanche is over $40, Wax at almost 35 cents, Phantom at under $1, Solana now at 110. Guys, dang, that's, I think, has changed some people's lives. I know some people, in fact, I can just say it very, very, very plainly. I know some people personally whose lives have totally changed because of Solana. I sincerely wish it was mine, but no, some other people who I know, like, dang, they've done very well with Solana because they got in early and they started aping into Solana NFTs early. Because right now, the thing all the cool kids are doing is just grabbing NFTs anywhere they can. Cryptid Youth is throwing up the horns in the comment section. Good to see Cryptid Youth. But yeah, guys, Solana is changing lives right now. And it's delivering, right? The last 7 days, it's up another 57%. It's just continuing to tear upwards and upwards. And we'll see. Some people are calling for it to be a top 3 cryptocurrency in the current crypto market cap. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think that Solana has those kinds of legs? Do you really think we're going to see it right next to Bitcoin and then Ethereum in the market cap? Tell me in the comment section. I'm not convinced. I think Solana has some other hurdles to jump over before it can do that. And I don't think it's all just about it being sort of the smart contract layer du jour right now. I think it possibly could go far, but I don't think we're going to give it to it that easily. I don't think that the entire market is going to give that top 3 spot to Solana that easily. You tell me, though. Right now, its market cap is at plus 30 billion plus, so it's doing pretty amazingly. I think, in fact, if you just look at the market cap exactly as is, and we subtract any kind of stable coins, it is in spitting distance of that top 5. So let's pretend like XRP and Tether aren't here. And we can't really get rid of Binance Coin because it's a bit of the utility token for Binance Smart Chain, right? Same with Cardano. Dogecoin, we probably need to leave there too. Same with Polkadot. But that still puts it like even that much farther into the top 10 at a virtual number 7 spot. So I don't know. I guess maybe the question is, can it definitely leapfrog past Polkadot, Dogecoin, and both Binance Coin and Cardano? I don't know, guys. I'm not convinced that it can double its market cap that easily and jump straight past Binance Coin, right? I don't know. We'll see. So, but you guys tell me. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that they can do what everybody's saying. Oh, it's definitely going to be a top 3 coin right away. A lot of people were saying that about Polkadot, and they didn't even see Solana coming at all. So, Opposed Gravity says, what are your thoughts on Phantom? Well, let's see. Spencer's asking, no link? Mind your biz? What do you mean, no link? Oh, Chainlink. Got it. No Chainlink. Great point. It's not on that portfolio. It's not on any of our portfolios right now. But somebody just asked, I'm just going to jump back to that in just a minute. Somebody asked about Phantom. We just put it on the portfolio. We literally just added a transaction for May 26th of $1,000. That's been kind of the basis for all of the entries into this paper portfolio. We're not actually playing with anybody's real money, nor are we telling anybody that they should put money into any of these coins at any time ever. But we are just saying, like, back when the market was a little bit distressed on May 26th, if you had put $1,000 into all of these, how did they recover from that point? That's a really strong indicator of coin strength, is how it does when alongside Bitcoin, right? It does this thing where Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin takes a nosedive and everything is kind of tethered to it, right? Tied to it. And so they all go sinking into the ocean with Bitcoin. Like, all right, we swan dive off this cliff into the ocean. And then when Bitcoin comes back up, some of those other coins are dead, right? They don't always do very well because they were tied to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin just jumped off that cliff into the ocean, right? So everybody else is like, whoa, I can't hold my breath that long because I'm not Bitcoin. And they struggle to get back up above the water. So we put that $1,000 precisely at that point in the market to see how well everything else did. Clearly, all these did phenomenally well. And Phantom is one of those, top 3 in this portfolio here. Spencer asked about Chainlink, right? So, good point. I don't know that Chainlink is a perfect fit for here, but because it's so essential to these Oracle systems, and guys, there is still an Oracle problem, and Chainlink doesn't represent centralization of Oracle data per se, but it does represent a sort of a central failure point. If anything went wrong with Chainlink, there are other projects that would be affected, right? It would cause problems in the cryptocurrency or crypto market cap as we know it. But what do you think? Should I add it? I'm inclined to. I think I wanna. We don't have it anywhere else. So this might be the spot for it. But it is a token, as you're aware of. Son of a Tech says, give me more GPUs. I can't, bro. I'm all tapped out of GPUs. I'm using all the ones I have. I think I blinked because I'm totally lying. I have like one or two that I'm not using. But I can't. I won't. So I can't. Chainlink is at the bottom of this right now because we have not added a transaction. Let's first off open this up in a new window. So we can do just like we did before, right? We'll open that up in a new tab, and then we'll hit the plus icon there. Very easy to figure out what the recent price was. Douglas says, add the graph. Figure out what the price was by going to May 26th. And Fox Protocol Mining. Ooh, this is cool, guys. Hey. An announcement of an announcement. Fox Protocol Mining says, I'll be making a YouTube comeback. Might be doing a 1070 giveaway if you're hunting for more GPUs, LOL. Nice. So I think he's low-key asking Son of a Tech to shill his YouTube comeback. You know, that's actually pretty fair, right? Like, putting up a 1070 as a giveaway in exchange for a little cross-channel shilling? I'm down. Guys, go follow Fox Protocol Mining. Do it. So... see, right time of day, May 26th at about, there we go, 17:14 hours, and that's at 32.36 is the price. All right, let's check it out. Oh, 32.36. Spencer, I think it's going to be painful. I think there's going to be some blood. You might want to avert your eyes. What have I done? Can that be right? It's right. Okay. There we go. John Jermaine says, too many electronics manufacturers are substituting parts and selling inferior products. Almost bought a titanium power supply until I read the comments. Ditto the NVMe SSD. Bro. We're in bad shape here. Fox Protocol Mining says, was that a Sean Connery voice? Well, it depends on who you believe your adversary is. Yes, it was. It was rather lovely, wasn't it? So, go back to... it's actually a little bit too gruff, I think, for Sean Connery. But there we go. I think we said 11, nope, 17. Try to keep our story straight there. That is the time that we acquired it. And let's submit that. But yeah, Link, I think... and it's not going to be our lowest performer for sure, but it's not going to be in the money, I don't think either. There it is. It's underneath Neo, but above Zilliqa. All right. And Fox Protocol Mining says it was convincing. Why, thank you, my dear. That's strange. Sorry, because I know Fox Protocol Mining is a dude. Sorry. Don't read into it, my dear. All right. So Neo and Zilliqa are bookending Chainlink right now. It's not doing bad though, and it is on an uptrend, but it's already starting to reverse a little bit, or maybe just find support right there, kind of ranging now, or crabbing sideways instead of continuing to pump. It is not enjoying any more of the pump. Ethereum is enjoying more of a pump overall than I think the Chainlink is. So yeah, I like this side of this chart a lot more, but it's unfair to put Chainlink on a chart like this, right? Where you've got the Solanas and the Phantoms and the Avalanches that have been like just destroying, right? They've just been like kicking everyone's booty up and down the court. It's just not even entertaining to watch anymore because everyone's getting destroyed right now. Back to our Bitcoin chart, we basically see that over the course of the live stream, we are seeing something of a reversal. And let me just see, is that a little like hatchet right there? It looks like we got a little red hatchet right there. So we may be seeing a bit of a reversal, right? So long downward wick, maybe. And yeah, maybe we don't get to see the completion of this little ascending triangle with the chopsticks. Boo-hoo. Here's the thing, though, guys. They're just chopsticks. And it's just Bitcoin. And it's just crypto at the end of the day. Yeah. But still, it would be cool, right? It'd be very cool to see $52,000 Bitcoin. I think that it'd be kind of a sob story before long, though. We would have to see some correction there. John Germain is saying ETH at 37.90 right now. That's great. Love seeing that. And guys, we've included Ethereum here, even though we've called it proof of stake smart contracts. We've included Ethereum here because ostensibly at some point, Ethereum is going to be a proof of stake smart contract platform. But yeah, there's a bit of an issue with that because we know that EIP 1559 hasn't really decreased fees. And we know that the current block time and the current fee structure and gas fee marketplace, it hasn't really decreased fees to the point that people are saying like, oh yeah, proof of stake is going to be awesome when it hits, because EIP 1559 and the fee burning mechanism inside of Ethereum is going to persist after that point. So we're just going to change who we pay fees to, not the amount of fees, and even the so-called consistent experience of fees. It's going to be about as consistent as it is now, which could be consistently high, right? But instead of you paying miners, you're going to pay the Ethereum core devs. They're 70% pre-mine. Wow. That feels good, doesn't it? Said no one at all, ever in cryptocurrency, not once. Oh, by the ghost of Satoshi, we cannot let this pass. Anyway, we've got other options, and I think that's what the market is telling us. Tron is, I think that the lineup here is pretty indicative of how people are thinking, and especially the developers. I think a lot of developers are thinking in this way, right? They were thinking like, oh yeah, maybe Polkadot. Oh yeah, maybe Binance Smart Chain. You know what? If Cardano can make its smart contracts work, that'll work. And then with the NFT craze, people are like, oh, Wax is pretty low fee. I'm going to put all my collectibles on there. And who did that? Like Funko and Marvel and Topps, right? And Major League Baseball and NBA Top Shots and everybody in the world who does collectibles thought that. So they've done pretty well. And then Avalanche came out of nowhere and was like, oh yeah, we can make that work. We're pretty decentralized too, and pretty good throughput. And then they had some problems. But yeah, this almost looks like it's in order of sort of an order of the hype machine, doesn't it? Everything above Ethereum, it's like, as far as like who hyped their proof of stake smart contract system at a certain time. I feel like the hype cycle for this particular bull run, this was kind of a lot of my discovery as well, right? Where the most, where the highest premium here kind of came from the most recently hyped stuff. So Solana, killing it. Terra, I don't know anybody who's developing on Terra, but it's there. And Solana, and I've got plenty of people who are minting NFTs and who are trying to set up smart contracts on Solana. But then I've got I know a lot of people rather who are trying to create systems and NFTs and smart contracts on these other systems and saying, well, I've got all these solidity skills from the last 2 years because I've been in the space for a while, but I've been working on Ethereum. And so I'm not that comfortable making that big a switch. So Binance Coin or Binance Smart Chain, maybe, or AVAX, maybe, because I can port my solidity there without any difficulty at all. So yeah, there's a bit of an issue there. Got some comments coming in, guys. Let me engage these a little bit. Let's see. Son of a Tech says, doesn't matter. They always delay 2 years anyway. Yeah, it's true, man. Dude, right? It's totally true. It's like when we were making content about like Prog Pow, right? About 2 years ago. and we were like, okay, yeah, great. All right. Ethereum core devs, you can do it. You can make a decision. And they just could not be prevailed upon to make a decision at all to save their lives or to save mining, right? That's when it was like, oh, we don't really care that much. John Germain says, now they say 2Miners is delaying payments to reduce fees. Ooh, yeah, that's rough. Guys, it's a weird marketplace right now for mining too. So that's why, again, I'm going to double down on what I said before. Polygon, Matic payouts, they make a lot of sense. The networks that offer them, I think you're going to get your payouts in a more timely fashion. And yes, if you're more comfortable with like air quotes layer 1 Ethereum, which I know Matic Polygon is not a true layer 2, but it's just a scaling solution. It's a parallel chain. The point is there's a lot happening on it. And now that Coinbase and OKX are supporting it for their back end, I think there are even more options. I don't think it's a terrible option, personally. So, yeah. Yeah, Son of Attack chimes in and just reminds everybody that HiveOS is still the only free one. They're still paying gas fees, but as I understand it, yeah, they're causing some controversy as well, and their bedside manner hasn't been very good, right? Keep in mind, Dima and the team. I'm sorry, Dimitro and the team over at HiveOS. You know, these are dudes from Kiev. Culturally, they're a little bit more direct. we'll say they're just a little more direct, a little more blunt than maybe sometimes we're used to. Yeah, some Goblin Loser says, so Ethermine, that's what I'm doing. And payouts are on time and zero fee, and they're daily. I have a very small mining operation though. That's the thing. And I've not been in growth mode for the mining operation. Son of a Tech is, and Red Panda Mining is, and several other channels are very much in growth mode for their mining operations. And so I'd say as far as like the mining pools where maybe they are trying to find some alpha, so to speak, getting the correctly timed payouts, figuring out like Fox Protocol Mining is doing, figuring out where they can get away with solo mining to better advantage. Because you're going to get a lot of really great feedback on that from their channel. So don't sleep on them, right? They're definitely going to give you some great feedback there. What I'm going to say though is that for the at-home miner and the mid-scale miner, the smaller at-home miner, getting the daily payouts on Matic, I haven't regretted it. I haven't. I thought I might at first, and I was like, oh, okay, but the bridging is kind of painful. And now I'm like, oh, you know what though? The low fee environment of Matic, I'm starting to kind of like. It's kind of wearing on me. I've already got whatever. I've already got my my MetaMask set up to support Matic anyway. So on OpenSea, it supports Matic. Now that everybody's doing NFTs, it's like, oh, cool. A lot of them are minted on Matic, so that the fees are lower there, even though the prices are still pretty healthy. So if you're minting or if you're buying NFTs on OpenSea, like, hey, so added to let us know, crypto.com is supporting it now too. There you go, guys. The support is just everywhere. So if the normies are getting support on Coinbase with this, I think it's just a foregone conclusion that like right now, Matic like is the de facto scaling solution for Ethereum. Like that's just what we're seeing. Everybody's kind of agreeing. They're not agreeing here at the, in the market cap, but all of the services are basically kind of agreeing that Matic is the way that Ethereum currently scales. Like it won't scale that way in the future, but it currently scales that way now. So like the price maybe doesn't show it yet, but Matic is absolutely the market's choice. So I haven't regretted it at all. Personally, I haven't. I've kind of adapted. I'm okay with it. Got support in MetaMask. Clearly, like if you're working with a hardware wallet like a Trezor or a Ledger, it doesn't care. It just signs MetaMask no matter which network you have it set to. And then you have all of your holdings right from your public key shown in MetaMask. So it doesn't matter what your hardware wallet says. Yeah, let's check out some comments here, guys. But I hope that answers the question. Somebody asked directly about Polygon, and John before asked specifically about Ethereum Classic. It appears to be doing really well. I don't know what is being developed on Ethereum Classic right now, and I don't know what their plans for scaling are right now, which I think is going to be a huge roadblock for it in the future, but it's profitable today. So kudos to anybody who is mining it right now. Let's see. Somebody asked about, it was Handyman, asked about why are we called miners? It sounds bad, get a bad rap as polluters. Why not data processors or something like that? Yeah, that's a tough thing. That's a really tough thing. We could do a branding push, and I don't know what it would take, but you figure, like, bro, Son of a Tech and Bitsby Trippin', especially, Bitsby Trippin' threw a lot of weight behind it. And talking to the Ethereum core developers and just saying like, hey, with this EIP 1559 thing, we're thinking of doing an administration, right? And Red Panda Mining, right? The larger English-speaking channels. Let's see, was it Crypto Leo and some of the other Russian-speaking channels, some of the other like Spanish-speaking channels and stuff? Like very few of them got on board with this initiative. But even just the English-speaking channels that did mining basically all said like, hey, what if we did a demonstration? Would you reconsider EIP 1559? And they delayed. You remember? It was like a game of chicken, and they were like, oh, we're not going to play that game. We actually made them pause for a while. Here we are on the other end of it, and whatever. Mining profits are largely untouched. So they get to do their like fee-burning theater, and we're still getting paid for right now. But to your point, can we get through to the Ethereum core devs? Can we get through to some of the major outlets like the Cointelegraphs and the CoinDesks and stuff? I think so. And I think it probably is just a question of us all sort of deciding we want to use certain terms. Like for a while, instead of calling them non-custodial wallets, people started to say self-hosted wallets. I worried about that because that sounded like something that the establishment was saying to make it sound like dangerous or contraband. Like, how can you be trusted to host your own wallet by yourself? A self-hosted wallet? Oh, we won't hear of it. Like, nah, it was very patriarchal and weird, right? The response from authorities when people started to talk that way and try to change the words, like the verbiage that we use. But like you're saying, we probably could use a branding overhaul as miners. Maybe. The thing is, we're into this thing for over 10 years. Satoshi called them miners. And he called them farms too. Like, so zombie farms was what he used to call botnet farms. Or he or she used to call botnet farms. So we've got we got some history now, right? Calling ourselves miners in this space. So it would be difficult to do, but I don't think it would be impossible. And I think if we get any more pushback from like diehard, like conservation people, right? Like, gosh, what am I trying to think of? Like the Greta Thunberg juniors, right? Like whoever comes next. Like if we get a lot of pushback, maybe we can pivot and we can rebrand. I don't know what it would take to get everybody on board with a new branding and a new name. And then, but once we are, I think we could do it. So I don't know. Yeah, Handyman says, Bits says we're like utilities. That's true. I used to say with a couple of clients that I did consulting for, helped them do some mid to large scale mining. I helped them with their pitches and stuff, and actually helped them get without going into too much detail. I pitched in front of a regional bank and actually got them the loan. Actually got them approved for the loan, so they could go into their mining facility for a couple million more. Which was cool, right? A little feather in my cap. I don't talk about this stuff very publicly, guys, because it's more like, it's dirty work. Like in a way, it's like, okay, so you helped them get more filthy money to get started with mining. Yeah, I did. But in that pitch meeting, I straight up with a straight face, I told the president of a regional bank, like, no, we're trust brokers. We eliminate trust in blockchain. Nobody else does. You need mining. So I framed it that way. And if I, it's kind of, I don't want to be too egotistical about it, but, if I can toot my own horn here, I think that's what helped them get the loan, was that they kind of got it, right? It aligned them with the people they were asking for the loan from a business bank or from a business account at their bank. So anyway, hey, Soat's on his way out. Thanks for stopping by, bud. Great seeing you here when you have time. Appreciate it, man. And guys, I think that's our night. We got a lot in, and I've got to get back to a couple other things that I'm now obligated to do. My schedule's going crazy. Guys, I'm going to be back on Around the Blockchain next week. So do stay tuned in there, and thank you for your support on those other channels as well. I may start doing a regular thing with Crypto Wendy O, which, I absolutely love the channel there. She's a phenomenal hostess. And just a great lady. I wish I lived closer to LA, which is crazy. I don't like living in LA. I don't like Southern California, but like I would totally go to one of her meetups because she's that kind of lady, that kind of gal. Super cool. So thank you for the unilateral support across the current scene. You've seen a lot of really cool people in the audience, right? Like how often do we get to see SOAT and Fox Protocol Mining and others in the chat at the same time? Obviously, go follow them as well if you haven't already. Really appreciate your guys' support. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mind Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.